Here's how I turn free gifted product offers into paid brand deals. Tip number 1, do your research. Not a lot of people actually do this, so by you doing it, you can stand out, leave a good impression, and sound professional. When a brand reaches out, before you reply, look at the brand's social media accounts, look at their website. What are their missions? Who are they targeting? What are their hero products? What are their latest launches? Know the brand and ask for their goal of the campaign. Tell them that you actually care about them and that you want to help them. Before you talk about money, ask them what they want out of working together. This is called a KPI, a key performance indicator, and it's what brands are looking for in working with creators. Mostly it's sales, but it could be other things too, like exposure, brand awareness, website traffic, link clicks. Ask them because, like I said earlier, not a lot of people do, and once you understand what the brands are after, you will have more ways to negotiate because you know what type of content you could make to get those results for them. You could even send them your ideas and pitch to them. Ask for their budget. I know that brands always have a budget because in this day and age, to survive on social media, even small indie brands need a budget, and they do actually have one. But unless you ask them, they won't tell you about it. So ask them. On first contact, brands will try to get you to post for free because obviously it's cheaper, and because so many people do it for free, they expect you to do the same. Sometimes people just don't know that they can charge for content. They think they're too small. Also, a lot of small creators are just grateful to receive something for free, and I'm not trying to bash you. I just think that you should be paid if you're making content for someone. No matter how small you are, you deserve to get compensated for your work. What some brands misunderstand is that they think that we, small creators, want to get paid the same amount as large creators. No. I mean, most of us know that we can't generate as much sales as large creators, but we can still get them results. We just want to get paid what we deserve. So you ask for their budget, they reply. If the price is lower than you expected, don't say no. Just lower the deliverables. If they want an in-feed post with both static images and video, a carousel using the whole 10 slides, and a reel, and you don't think it's enough compensation, tell them that without saying no. Don't say I can't or use negative words. Instead, use positive words like I can. So rather than saying I can't do all of that for that amount, say for that amount I can post on stories for you, and for an extra $100 I am willing to post one static image on my feed. It is so much less deliverables, but it just sounds so much better. If they reply with a price you're comfortable with, that's great. But always remember to pitch an extra proposal. If they, for example, ask for one Instagram in-feed post, you could say that for an additional $200, you can also make a reel for them. If they don't need it, they'll say so and you can move forward. Just don't be afraid of negotiating. It's business. Negotiating is the key, and you just have to start doing it, otherwise you will be taken advantage of. If you can't negotiate, brands will never see you as a professional or take you seriously. And if you ask them and they say they don't have a budget, just know that they don't have a budget for you at the moment. Like I said earlier, to survive in this social media age, every brand needs a marketing budget. But some brands will say, we can't pay you, and tell you that you're not big enough, so you can just say no to them. Don't let brands make you do things that you're not comfortable with. Some brands don't really have a budget because they're new and they have no experience in influencer marketing. So tell them, educate them, and be their first paid creator. Still, if they don't want to pay you, let them go because there are other brands that will pay you. You just have to find them. And if you want to go forward with the free product review, totally up to you. Next tip, show them multiple data. A lot of people say to brands that I have this much followers and subscribers, my reach is this much, and my engagement rate is really high. Yes, that can be good data, but don't rely just on those numbers. These days, everything can be manipulated. There's obviously follow for follow, there's like for like, comment for comment, share for share, save for save. There's also use for use and buy for buy. A lot of brands are naive, some don't know, some don't care, but some do look very closely. In my opinion, engagement rate doesn't really matter that much because the whole point of brands paying you is so that they can access your followers through your work. And some people don't like or comment. They won't engage on the post, but they will actually buy the product you recommended. So if a brand tells you that your engagement rate isn't good enough, they don't know what they're doing. And even if you do have a high engagement rate, if it's just likes and comments, and if people don't take action, like visit the website, buy things because you recommended it, that collaboration isn't a successful one. What I believe is important is to get an average consumer that you don't know or have any prior connection to buy something on your recommendation. When people are influenced and buy things you promote, especially when they tag you, share it to your stories and tag the brands. Screenshot it and save it in a folder so you can show the brands that you have actually influenced people. If you have affiliate links and codes, show the brands how many people use it. If you put links in your stories and people actually click it, tell the brands that too. If you've received PR before and posted about it, show them how you've done it. Also, study your analytics because you can use it to your advantage. If the brand's target audience is 20 to 30 years old living in a big city and you have that audience, that is one way you can stand out and show them that you are a right fit to work with. If you are finding value in this video, please hit the like button so it can spread to more people. I truly appreciate it. Next tip, tell them your investment. Not your rate, but the investment and in multiple packages. Have a range and tell them that it really depends on the content. This is why I don't have a media kit or rate card because it's different every single time for every single brand. You can have a media kit or a rate card if you want to, but I have never had one and I still get paid. I might make one, but that's a different video. By the way, if you do have a media kit or a rate card, never ever send it before they ask you to send it. You could be overcharging and lose the opportunity, or you could be undercharging and get paid less. Let's say that the brand is willing to pay you, but your rate is $500 and their budget is $300. This is why they might ghost you. But if you ask them for their budget, you can negotiate. Pitch to them, and that budget could become $400 or maybe $500 or even $1,000 because your pitch is so amazing. Now let's say that your rate is $800, but their budget is actually $2,000. But because you didn't ask, you just lost $1,200. Back to the multiple package. So for example, say that I can produce one Instagram story for $30, one Instagram feed for $50, two Instagram posts for $80, a TikTok video for $150, a dedicated YouTube video for $300, and so on. This way, brands have a choice, and even if they choose the most cheapest offer, you're still going to get paid. It might not be a lot, but it's better than nothing. The key word is investment. It's such a positive word than rate, in my opinion. It has the impression that they will get something out of it. Yes, finding your investment, your rate is hard. It really depends on all sorts of different factors, so I can't give you a set rate. If there were two creators, even if they're both in the same niche and have the same amount of followers, the same amount of engagement, how much they charge will vary. Just know that if you're uncomfortable with the number, don't say that number. If you think $50 is too low, don't propose that number. Say $100 instead. If you think $500 may be pushing it, say $400 instead. Just make sure you're comfortable because you should never undervalue yourself. If you are able to provide valuable content, name a decent price. However, be realistic. If you only have 50 followers, don't charge $1,000. That's just not realistic. Also, if you ask for a lot, brands will expect a certain level from you, and if you can't meet that standard, you'll probably never get an offer from them again. So have a balance. Next tip. Let brands know that you're only interested in paid collaborations and stick with it. There is nothing wrong with wanting money for work. I actually have this in my bio for my Japanese Instagram account. I will say that most brands don't really read your bio. They just tend to copy and paste the same messages to hundreds of small creators because they know that a lot of small creators will say yes and post for free. I kept getting DMs and emails for free collaborations and it was frustrating, but these days I get paid collaboration offers, so you might want to try it too. And when brands do reach out to you and they want you to post for free, don't get annoyed. Don't ghost them and don't just say no. This time it might not be a paid collaboration, but always reply because you never know, it could become a paid collaboration in future. They could reach out again with a paid offer, or you could pitch to them at a later date because remember, they reached out to you. You are on their radar and you have a connection already. And don't just say, no, I don't post for free. Tell them why you charge, why paying you is worth it, what sort of content you can make and help them get sales. A lot of brands still don't know the value of creation because they're not the creator. They don't create things, so they don't know. So let's tell them and educate them. I used to just shut them down, but the more I explained to them, the more I talked to them, gradually brands were like, okay, I'll propose that to my supervisor. And sometimes they never get back to you, but sometimes they actually do with a budget. But once you make the decision, stick with it. I recently said no to a couple of big brands that I really like because I just couldn't convince them to pay me. I know they pay creators, but I couldn't convince them. For a minute, I was like, Meg, just accept the free PR. But I said sorry because if I say yes to one, it's not fair to the other brands that I said no to. So although I do turn free gifted offers into paid deals, I'm not successful all the time. And I want you to understand that you probably won't be either. But it gives you experience. When it's a paid collaboration, I think people take it more seriously than free PR. I certainly do. I actually go more in depth and brands can also ask more things, so I think it's a win-win situation. Getting paid to post is not being entitled. Again, I'm not trying to bash anyone. If you want to post for free, that is your choice. It's good to get experience. However, if you think it's time to get paid, try the tips that I just told you and let me know in the comments how it went. If you are still new as a creator or an influencer and you want experience, watch this video where I tell you exactly how to get PR. Happy growing!